Hello, and welcome to another webinar presented by Magnetism Solutions. So today we'll be covering the feature of the embedded Microsoft Teams chat in Dynamics 365. But before I do, as usual, I'd like to briefly introduce myself. My name is Simon Rowe, and I'm a functional consultant at Magnetism Solutions. So here in Magnetism, we strive to meet our values, and one of our values is having excellence through mastery, meaning we like to stay on top of features such as these so that we can provide the best service to our clients. Without further ado, this webinar will give you an overview of what embedded Microsoft Teams chat looks like in Dynamics 365 and how it can be utilized to enhance your business processes as well as making your communications more efficient within the business. So what is embedded Microsoft Teams chat in Dynamics 365? Microsoft Teams Embedded Chat is a feature within Dynamics 365 that enables Microsoft Teams chat to be used while using Dynamics 365, enhancing the collaboration within the business teams and lessening the time spent switching between applications for effective communication. So it's important for your employees within the business to be able to efficiently communicate with their colleagues throughout their workday. Might be to ask for feedback or ask for some help regarding their work items that they're working on, and Microsoft Teams Embedded Chat enables this within Dynamics 365. So let's take an example of a case management scenario where this would be useful. So the current process of how communication is managed without the Teams embedded chat is first the client would raise an issue regarding their case. For example, when I used to work in case management and injury management, some of the problems that were raised by the clients about their case was that their injury was actually on their left arm, not the right arm. So they would just send a change request through for an administrator to look at, and if they had delegations, they would just change it within the case. So then the administrator would then look up for a case owner in the case if they had no delegations to change these things that the client is requesting in a change request. But when I worked in injury management, in my personal experience, this was a problem because if it's a new case or something, it doesn't have a case owner assigned to it yet, or if it's a case that is already in a department, like a general department where case owners just work out from because it's already pretty much in the end phase of the injury, then yeah, you can't locate the case owner as well. So you'll have to search through the communications to find out who the last case owner was in this case and get them to change the details. And then also you have to search for the case owner within the communication channel. Was also a problem in my injury management, case management days because when we used these different communication channels, their name in this communication channel was different from the case management side, so it took a bit of time to actually locate what they went by in the communication channel and a bit of time wasted for myself as an administrator. And then once that is located, you will send the change request through. So just from looking at this, the current process is quite time consuming for an administrator. They need to constantly flick back between the communication channel and the case management system, as well as trying to manually look for the case owners within the channels. And so, how would Teams Embedded Chat and Dynamics 365 optimize this process? First up, same scenario. In the first step, client would raise an issue and send a change request through to an administrator. Then the administrator would open a record and create a chat within Microsoft Teams, all in Dynamics 365. And then they would add a case owner to the chat using the suggested contact options, which I'll be showing you in the demonstration. And then they would just send a change request through to the case owner for the relevant change required by the client. So from here, you can already see that with the embedded Microsoft Teams chat in Dynamics 365, makes the whole communication process or change request process quite more fluid. Don't need to constantly flick back between the communication channel as well as the case management system, all done within Dynamics 365, saving both you and as an administrator and the case owner time as well. So next, we're just going to briefly look at some of the benefits that you can expect from using the embedded Teams chat. First up is the integration side, so communications or chats that you make within Dynamics 365 automatically integrates into the Teams chat application. So as you know, Microsoft Teams is a different subset of application to Dynamics 365. So maybe if you don't have access to Dynamics 365, maybe you just making the chat within your phone or something, you can still access all the chat that you made within Dynamics 365 within your Teams app within your phone. The fluidity, as mentioned before, no need to navigate through between two different application systems. Don't need to go back to Dynamics to work on the case and then go back to Microsoft Teams to just chat. You can do all of that within Dynamics 365 now with this feature. You might think it's not very important, but when I used to work in case management, this would have been useful because you work through many of these change requests per day, like say 40, 50 a day, and say it only takes you like a minute or two per change request, but with this, it would have saved me about 45 minutes to an hour of my day, which I could have spent doing other things. Also easy to use, so Microsoft Teams, if that's already your main communication channel, don't need to relearn how to use these features other than the few new features that I'll be showing you in my demonstration. And last but very important, you can make direct link to the case records within the chat itself. So you can just link the case record that needs a change request through to the case owner within the link chat, and they can just click the link, make the change request as required, and then just say, yep, it's all done, which I'll be showing you now. So I'll go to my environment, and this is my change request, say from Steve, saying I need the change to my injury description because it's supposed to be my left shoulder injury, not my right shoulder. So then I would just go into the case. I can see here it says his right shoulder and he landed on his right arm. But say I did not have the delegations to change the injury descriptions, which I didn't when I used to work in case management. So all you would need to do is open up your Teams chat using here, new link chat. And the neat thing about this is the suggested contacts here, as I mentioned previously. So you can see the case owner is student 12, which is just a test user record within my environment. And he's the case owner, so I can just assign student 12 from the suggested contact as the participants without actually even needing to look them up as I would have to do in the current process. And then all I'd need to do is say, hi, student 12, or whoever the case owner is. Client has requested to change their injury description on this case to their left arm as their injury occurred on their left arm. And you would just start a chat. What that would do is bring up this little chat window just like it would in Facebook Messenger, and then also it would bring up this option here, well, not an option, a chat here saying whatever you typed in as the message, and then just the link to the record, and they can immediately identify which case it is for and which client it's for. Just open up the record. And then just go, yep, what they said was change it to left shoulder, so they would just change it. And then save. Close out of it. And then they could just say to me, Hi Simon, that has been changed for you. And that all gets directly fed back to the Dynamics chat, Teams Embedded chat that I'm working through now. And once that is all done, the administrator myself could just go back to the change request and then just close out of it. Oh, well, you would want to first check that it actually has been changed. Yep, you can see that being changed to the left arm and left shoulder. So yeah, go back and then you would close the change request. And what I've done now is to design a flow for it to send an email to the client saying that their change request has been completed, which will show up here, showing what case ID it is, what the change request was for, just a brief email to say that their change request has been completed. So with this process, you can already see quite more efficient than the current process. I can have this chat window communicate with the case owner at any time if anything else needs changing. Bring up just this new link chat that directly links to the record so that the case owner can simply just click, change what is required, and just message me back saying it's all done. Yeah, makes it very fluid and efficient. So how do we enable this Teams chat within your Dynamics environment? So you just go into either your customer service hub or your sales hub, and then all you need to do is change to your service management, and then go all the way down to the Microsoft Teams integration, go into it, and all you need to do is enable it within the options here. And also what you can do is enable this so that when you do the link chat, it already makes a title as the case, whatever you're linking into the chat. And another neat thing is about the embedded chat is that you can add the record types. So, for example, like the one that I've linked in my chat is the case, and yeah, you can enable it within your Dynamics 365 records of all the tables that you might want to link within chatting with whoever within your business teams. And then within that, you can change how it would look like when you link a record within your Teams chat. For example, I have the case title, case number, and priority, and the client within my view. And all you need to do is go and search them up within your view, within the message view here. And then you can change it depending on the view that you already have created within that table itself. So like within your case table in your environment, you might have all these views. And yeah, you can just create or use the already made views within it. And yeah, that's what it will look like within your Teams chat. Another feature that I want to show is within your linking chats, you can also link it to a channel. So for example, if that in my example I said that you might not be able to find a case owner related to the case because it's a new case or it's been moved to a department already, what you can do is create a link to a channel instead of a chat. And then what you can do is, say case managers or something, and yeah, just general. And then you can just select all the members that you want to send this case record to, instead of having directly messaging someone instead, so that you can get this change request done as soon as possible if it is urgent. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Teams chat integration with embedded within your Dynamics environment. Quite simple to use. And yeah, that's all I wanted to cover today. So to conclude, I have shown you today how to enable Microsoft Teams within your Dynamics environment, and how it can be utilized to enhance the communication within your business. So using this feature will save your administrators a lot of time. As mentioned previously, if your administrators are working on like 50 or 60 of these change requests a day, and then they have to manually look for these case owners in each of these change requests, instead of doing these linked chats where they can directly just link a case owner using suggested contacts, it would save them a lot of time instead of having to manually look for them every time. So give embedded Teams chat a try within your Dynamics environment, and any feedbacks you might have, give back to Microsoft, as currently the Microsoft Teams chat embedded into your Dynamics environment is still in preview, so they're still taking feedbacks on what else could be improved. And yeah, thank you for your time today.